What's going on, YouTube? This is Captain of Status Quo Flamesword. Promise you guys all a vlog. Now, unlike my other vlogs, I couldn't really get XSplit to work where it just got my pretty face and like me in my shirt with my Red Bull and my 840s on. So I decided to go on to Wirecast, put a gameplay on while I talk over my vlog. What's interesting about this gameplay is there's something very interesting I do at the end. I'm going to take you guys into my mind towards the end of the game, be like, exactly what I was thinking and why I would do this play, should I do this play, and what I saw from the communication of my teammates and just on the map, why I thought this play would work and like the percent of it working and why I would just go for it. But I'm going to start this gameplay up, but this is a vlog like I said, and there's three things I told you all I was going to talk about. The Red Bull LAN, team change before the Red Bull LAN obviously because that was before, and then MLG Columbus, which was an amazing event for us as we won it, and I'm going to talk about it. So first, the team change. The team change was something crazy. We got called out shady quo after it and all that, and I mean, it definitely was a shady move at the end of the day because of the timeline, but there was a good reason for it happening, and I'm going to explain that to you. So, leading up, starting the offseason, Assault quits our team, or goes into retirement, he says, and then comes back after we pick up Elamite to join up with Blaze, Ryan, Noob, and Snipe Down. So that was kind of a domino effect, having Assault leave our team because of the type of team that we were. So losing him kind of just threw off the whole persona of our team, and we were going through people to look for up. We decided to go through Blaze, Maniac, Elamite, and the final choice was given down to Ace. We felt like no matter who we were going to pick up, it was going to be like Halo 3 all over again, where we picked up Assault, who wasn't the best player in the world at the time, but gradually became one of the best players in the league. And we were just like, you know what, it's just going to be like Halo 3 all over again. We're just going to put in the time and work, practice hard, and just start from square one again. That's the mindset we had when basically we picked up Elamite. It started off pretty good. We were doing very well, you know. First, we lost a couple games, and we went over theater and everything. We were like, all right, we know we hit the change. And then we started playing well, beating Instinct in a scrim, beating a couple other teams in scrims. And then, like, the week after that, all of a sudden, we just kept losing. And for me, it was very frustrating because I was putting a lot of time into Halo because these new settings, no bloom, no sprint, I really enjoyed them. So I hated missing out and not playing, and so like we were just losing, and then I guess other teams weren't doing as good. Here I'm kind of meaning Warriors. It's kind of weird with Warriors though, because they were winning their online scrims. I guess there was just some conflictions going on. At one point, I got offered a spot on Warriors. I declined it because I felt that my team was good enough, and we had the Red Bull LAN coming up, and we would be able to work on whatever we need to improve our game. After that, shortly, Enable got the same offer, and he declined because he didn't want to leave me. We're very good friends. I mean, I'm very good friends with everyone on Status Quo, previous Status Quo, Assault, Aaron, Ace, and it just he decided not to do it. And then that night, the night where Enable declined, I kind of confronted Snakebite about like, yo, what's this you like asking Enable on the team after like asking me, like as a joke, because I mean at the end of the day everyone's really good friends in the Halo community, especially to the pro level. There's just always stuff that goes on that at points and times that there's going to be, you know, arguments with each other. But so I do this, and then me and Snakebite just start hypothetically, like, you know, like we brush off the subject, because I mean I was just joking when I brought it up to him, but we brush it off. And I just start talking to him, and he's like, yeah, I just want to start dominating. Like, I feel like I'm too good to not be winning events. And this is what Snakebite told me. I was like, yeah, you're pretty good. You know, like, just joking around, because, you know, you don't want to admit to the other players on different teams that, like, they're better than you and stuff. So we're just joking around. He's like, yo, hypothetically, what team do you think would be better? And he brought up him, Snakebite, I mean, him and Dursky with me and Enable, or him and Royal 2. And me and Enable again, and I said, honestly, that second team would be insane, dude. Like, you three, from my perspective, I told them you three are always going like plus 100 every tournament. that would just leave me room to go Night 23 like you guys all saw at the tournament and just pick up hill time and run flags. And then when I have to, come out big in game 11 to drop the most kills, but that's besides the point. So I was just like, dude, that'd be a sick team. And then to this day, I tell him that if I was walking into a car dealership with $5,000 and I was only looking to spend $5,000 and he was the guy who was trying to sell me a car, I would walk out with a $20,000 car. Some of the things he told me were so true. For me, I'm 22 years old. I should be really looking to win every tournament, you know, and not worry about so many other little things, because I'm 22, so at the end of the day, the money is the most important thing to me. And, you know, I am a competitor, and I love to play, and I love to win. So winning is a plus, and then you get that extra money, which is awesome. So the team change happened, and why I went through with it was because Ace is a busy school student. He's in some of the hardest classes you'll ever hear about. I forget what his degree is, but it's something insane. And he's just always in the toughest classes, so he has to put a lot of time to that. And for me, being 22 years old and putting a lot of time to the game, I just wanted to have this teammates who would put in the same amount of time as me. And basically, Snakebite's 16 years old, Royal 2, 15 years old. These kids are people in high school. As soon as they come home, they're playing video games, you know? Like, they're playing Halo like you and me were, if you're my age, when during the Halo 2 days, where we would just get on and bleed until, you know, we're getting yelled at by our parents, like, stop yelling in your room, people are trying to sleep and stuff. So at the end of the day, it was it wasn't Ace's fault, you know. You can't do anything. That he's just a smart genius kid in school and stuff like that. It wasn't Elmite's fault. It was just the team just didn't feel right to me at the end of the day, and that team was just too dominant of a team to turn up. I felt the players are the future, Snakebite and Royal. You know, they're young and they're gonna get better and better as they get older, and they just are two kids with raw talent. I feel Enable, no matter what, he is always gonna be one of the players with the most dominant shot in the game. Because of that, he's able to do so many things in game that other players aren't able to do just because of his shot. So I ended up, you know, calling Enable the next day, like, yo, dude, think we should do this. We got through talking to it, and we're like, you know what, this is gonna be a sick team, dude. We have to do it. So that the next day, after talking to Snakebite on Skype, we ended up making the team official. And then all the shady business happened, as in like Dynasty dropping legit for Dursky, BTH, Hysteria for Clutch, and all that. So we caused a little hurricane. But that was that, and now, you know, we had, I think it was 3 or 4 days after the team changed, getting ready to go into the Red Bull LAN. So we practiced 3 days online. The first 2 days was just to get a feel of each other, and we felt like, wow, dude, we're like, this team's sick. Like, we're all individually able to make plays without each other, but then we come together as a unit to finish everything off and make everything run. So the first 2 days, like I said, you know, we're just getting a feel for each other. The third day before we played, we decided to go over stuff. So the first few days we didn't even go over stuff. We just, you know, just natural stuff, just playing and just trying to win the game. Third day we went over stuff. We played, I think it was Aptitude's team and Only Toxic. We like 7-0'd them. After that we played Instinct, I believe, and we 5-2'd them, or I think it was 5-2 or 6-3, something like yeah, 6-3. And then we ended up being done for the day. We felt really good after the third day. We played Dynasty as well. I'm pretty sure we 5-2'd them, or no, they beat us 4-3, I believe, with the new addition of Dursky. And so then the next day I had to leave to go to the Full Sail University for the Red Bull LAN in Orlando, which was awesome, by the way. I'm going to continue talking about this LAN. So I had to leave early to do things for Red Bull, and so fast forward from Wednesday to Friday, the whole team's there, we're all there, and we're getting ready to play. Our first series, I believe, is against Instinct, and we get slapped 4-1. We played 5 games, and they 4-1'd us. They slapped us pretty good. We lost games, like barely. Was little mistakes we were making, but that was the whole point of the Rebel LAN. We were there to, see what we can do and see what we can't do, fix what we were trying to do, and see how we can make it work. And by the end of the LAN, we got it working. After that first series with Instinct of them 4-1ing us, we all talked. We were like, dude, we just got to make sure we stay alive. Us, as all individual players, are so dominant that if we stay alive, we feel like we have the most slaying power on the circuit. I believe that with the 3 kids on my team. They're all kids who just are dominant. Their shots are all amazing, and you guys have seen the amazing things they've done with snipe or any gun in their hands. So we came to the conclusion, if we stay alive and we're ever in a position where it's like 4-3, we're gonna have the better chance because we just feel that we're the 4 better players. So we talk about that, and then we play Dynasty, and I believe we 3-2 them, and then we play one more time that night, and we end up 4-0ing Instinct. So like we do that, and like we get ecstatic, like we're pumped. We're like, all right, dude, now we're moving, now we're doing what we want to do. Let's continue this throughout the entire LAN. Next day comes up, Saturday. We end up like 4-1ing Dynasty, 4-1ing Instinct, and then 3-2s, 4-0s, 5-0s, and we're just like, dude, this is sick. Me and the neighbor were like, yo, we made the right choice. We can't look back on anything now. This team is a dominant team, and we just got to give it our all and just keep pushing. Last day comes in the LAN. We 4-1 Instinct at the beginning of the day before the stream, and then we play Dynasty and we get 3-2 by them. After we got 3-2 by them, I felt like something weird changed with our team. I didn't feel like we were playing well, but I feel like after we lost that series, we I don't know, like got kind of down on ourselves or something maybe. So after that, we had the best record, and the stream started, and it was a best of 11 between Dynasty and Instinct. That went all the way to, I don't know if they go to a game 11 or if it went to game 10, but it was an intense series. I was coaching Dynasty, so it was pretty cool to go from player to coach and like do all the call outs, tell people like when to stay alive, what they should be trying to do from like a third eye above them. So that was cool. I got to see Dursey do some incredible things on Nexus King of the Hill. He went like +12 that game, and apparently was the only King of the Hill game that they won the entire LAN. So that was interesting to watch from behind him as like a coach. Then unfortunately Dynasty lost to Instinct, so we played them. We haven't played for like 2-3 hours because of their 11-game series, and we end up getting 6-2. Funny thing about the Rebel LAN, I think at the not Rebel LAN, but at the MLG Winter Championships, I believe that Ogre 2 said that they had to change a lot of their stuff, or a lot of teams are changing their startup strats to counter Instincts and stuff like that. I thought this was kind of funny because at the Rebel LAN, we just formed as a team, so we just made our own generic startup strats, and they weren't made to counter anyone. But apparently it was mostly always beating Instinct startup strats. And in that 11-game series at the Rebel LAN, for the $2,000 I believe it was in single dollar bills, which hats off to Instinct walking away with that because I really wanted to just have a bunch of singles in my hands. But in that 11-game series, we felt like Instinct changed most of their startup strats to play against us. Saying we were always beating them for the power weapon in the start, and Snake Button, they were like, dude, they just changed it. I saw that they changed it. Zealot, they kind of changed their startup. And I'm not sure if I think they kept doing the same countdown thing because it worked. It was like an on and off type of situation. So they did that. Now after the Rebel LAN, we were the only team from the Rebel LAN out of Dynasty and Instinct to, when we got home, continue practicing. So we didn't let any time waste. We had 3 days until the event. Actually 2 days, I believe. And I'm going to pause the video right here because this is the play that I do that I want you guys to be able to see. But I'm going to talk about real quick the event. So right after the Rebel LAN, we were the only team out of Instinct and Dynasty to actually continue practicing. Obviously, usually a lot of people like to, after a LAN, going to an event, like to relax a bit, you know what I mean? They just LAN, which means they usually play over 100 games in a weekend, or even more. So players, teams, like a lot of the top teams like to take a break. They like to halo off a little and just relax. But for us, it was different because we wanted, we were a new team and we wanted to make sure we continue the momentum we got from the LAN, continue doing the things that we were doing good at the LAN, well at the LAN, and just continue doing them online to be ready to go into the event. So we practiced the 3 days or 2 days right after the Rebel LAN, and I think it was a big contributor to our success, which helped us win the event. So we practice online. Thursday comes around, we all fly over, and we're in Columbus, and we're at the Renaissance, which is a hotel that I think we were the only pro team there. Every hotel was sold out because of StarCraft. StarCraft is getting bigger and bigger. Hats off to MLG for picking up StarCraft and LOL recently, which was announced today. LOL, I think, in IPO had like 200,000 concurrent viewers, so this is just a huge opportunity for MLG, so hats off to them. But so yeah, so we're at Renaissance, and it's like we got one room, we're all chilling together, and we're just like, dude, we gotta bring our A games out starting Friday, just gun off. Friday comes up, free for all. I hate free for all. Free for all is the last thing that I ever want to do. I hate 1v1s as well. I hate like everything besides 4v4s. I can play 2v2s. I think 2v2s are fun. But 1v1s and free for alls are just not my thing. And because of that, I ended up getting knocked second round. And I always play it as a joke. I'm like, all right, guys, you guys gotta make sure you go all the way, you know. So like I said, I got knocked out early, so it'd be harder for them. But I already knew from the Rebel LAN there was a free-for-all, and all three of them were in the final free-for-all. And I knew they were going to do the same thing at the event, and I was expecting one of them to win it, but I was glad for them to go 3, 4, and 5, which is amazing. So we had 3 people from Status Quo finishing the 3, 4, and 5 spot, which is just spectacular. If you guys ever get the chance, watch their streams when they're playing free-for-alls or just anything. Royal 2 is an amazing sniper. You should always try to check him out. Snakebutt is just an overall amazing overall player, and then you guys all know Enable from Halo 3. He's just dominant. So they place very well in the free-for-all, which gives us the first seed throughout the tournament. We have a pretty easy bracket all the way up until Shady Halo Kids, which is Ace and Elamite's team. So this series is interesting because it's the series where it's, this is the karma match. Like, are we going to lose because we dropped them? And cool little fact is that Elamite has never lost to a team that he's been dropped off going into the event. So, this is a scary curse, and Status Quo is known to fall down to curses, like with the 4th place curse, always finishing 4th in Halo 3 and such things like that. So, we play them. We go up 1-0. We beat them pretty easy, Zealot Flag. They beat us pretty easily, Countdown TS. We almost came back, then we choked. I watched it on rebroadcast before it was still alive, and we're like, no way, dude. I thought we were like down by a lot more. I can't believe we brought it back like that. And we just let it go at the end. Game 3 was Nexus King of the Hill. They almost had it. We had an amazing last push to stop them, which is what I like about this team. In critical situations, we don't get nervous. No one flusters. No one gets crazy. And we just play it slowly, and we edge teams out usually. So we end up winning by like maybe 10, 15 seconds, but off the last hill after they had the lead, I believe. And then comes game 4. We were down 3-1, pit flag. And it was like 2 minutes or 3 minutes about to go into overtime. I think it was 2 minutes. We ended up double capping, and then the game goes into overtime, and we ended up running that last flag. It was one of the most intense series I've ever played, just because of the whole player situation thing. Shady Halo Kids was, in my opinion, the second toughest team we played at the event, but behind Instinct. After Shady Halo Kids, we go into play, I believe it was Instinct, Instinct for because we're just top 6, so this would lead into the top 1-2 position, I believe. So we play Instinct. They end us getting a 2-0 lead on us. We end up in Game 3, this is the famous Game 3 where I go neg 23. I end up going neg 23, but we end up winning the game. Most of that game I was just going for hill, and obviously I really didn't know what was going on, because every time I would go for the center hill, it's where I got most of my deaths. Every time I'd go for the center hill, it was like I would get to it, get 2 seconds, 3 seconds, and then all of a sudden there would be 2 people in shotgun tunnel, OV tunnel, and I would just get lit and just zapped, like I was done. It was over. And I was like, man, this is so frustrating. So we end up winning it. Royal 2 gets a clutch double kill. You guys can watch on our broadcast. He clutches it on top of Blue 2, getting a double kill on Lunchbox, and we end up winning that game. And I think that this game was the turning point of the event. This game, I think, got into Instinct's head, like, maybe like, no way, we just lost to a kid who went neg 23. Like, we should have 3-0 these dudes. Like, this is a joke. So maybe, like, because of that, they're all angry with each other that they didn't 3-0 us, and that, like, now they're putting more pressure on each other to get this next game out, and they end up losing the next game, Sink Flag, which I believe goes into overtime again, and we end up capping 1-0, and we win 1-0. And then we go into Game 5, Zella TS. It was back and forth, and then at the end they edged out 50-48, 50-47, so we get knocked into loser's bracket. In loser's bracket, we were playing Ambush in the loser's bracket finals. I thought Ambush was going to be a lot better. Online, they were very, very dominant. Best Man was saying that they were the best team going into the event when he was about to coach him. A lot of teams like us and Instinct really avoided playing them online because APG's host is just awful for some reason. Formal lives on the West Coast, and his shot registers better than most of the people who live closer to APG, which in my head didn't make any sense because he's from the West Coast. He should be laggier than what I'm shooting. But so we try to avoid playing them because I played them when it was me, Enable, Elamite, and Ace, and the host was just horrendous, and we couldn't play on it. So we avoided playing them. So we play them. They beat us pretty easy game 1, 5-1 or 5-0, I believe, on Zealot Flag. And we were like, dude, alright, we're a lot better than this. Let's step it up. We go into Sank TS, and we basically stake them. We don't stake them. We get mashed potato and green peas. They get 31 kills, I believe. But it was just an amazing game by us. Everyone started finally clicking, and from that point on, throughout the entire tournament, you could see status quo at its finest. Snakebite was going off, Royal 2 was going off, Enable was going off, I was going off, so it was amazing. So Game 3 comes around, another Nexus King of the Hill. It was a close game. They had the lead in the top hill going to the last. I think we end up getting the lead, and then it goes back and forth. I got a huge kill on Formal top gold when he has the first 2 shots, I believe, on me. If he was to kill me on top gold, they would have most likely been successful with their push. But because I killed Formal, I was able to stay top gold and shoot him down to blue street when they were at green, and just force them to try to come top mid. And as they came top mid, Hill and blue 2 guys were shooting them. So because of that 1-on-1 that I won, we were able to maintain and stop their push and end up winning Game 3. And then we go into Game 4, Countdown Flag. This is like the second Countdown Flag game we played in the entire event because of the whole veto system. I kind of like the veto system. It allowed us to play the same game types that we thought we were amazing at, back and forth. So I really like that. And we play Ambush, and it ends up we win 5-1, 5-2. We were just all over them. They couldn't really do anything. If you watch the rebroadcast, Snakebite hits some of the craziest double kills. You could see it off a couple of our players' def cams. He gets like insane sticks. S2 area, their triangle. So it was an amazing game. So that game gave us the momentum and the boost to go against Instinct for the finals, for the big champion, for the trophy. And that's exactly what we did. We went back and forth. They had their dominant games. We had our dominant games. Cool statistic, I don't know if you guys know, but Instinct, out of 6 objective games, I believe, Instinct won 1 out of 6, and we won 5, and out of all the Slayers, Instinct won 4 out of the 5, and we won the 1 Slayer, and the only Slayer we won was Game 11, which was very interesting. Also, Instinct won every Game 5 at the event, and the only tiebreaker last game that they lost was Game 11 against us. So that's another cool, interesting little fact that a lot of people might have not noticed. And I'm going to run it down basically because if you guys know, you could just watch the broadcast. It was an amazing Halo to watch all event long. But I'm going to break down the last play. Basically, we get down to like the 47 mark. Me and Snakebite are their top drop. And basically at this point, the crowd goes insane because Instinct is the crowd favorite, and like Pistole's getting all these chants, and like we totally zone out. Like so, then it's like Royal 2 and Enable are working together, and then me and Snakebite are working together because like we just lost focus with them too. Because when we watch the broadcast, we're like, dude, they were big door of rockets. Like we didn't even have to drop. But what ends up happening is I drop jetpack before a Snakebite, and I end up going the back ramp, and Lunchbox and Ogre 2 are there. and I end up running away because Lunchbox gets me one shot. So I'm like running around jetpack, their triangle like on the pillars, and like avoiding death. Snakebite drops, gets Lunchbox one shot, and then Ogre 2 comes out of nowhere to help Lunchbox finish him off. And then when I'm like 2-1 shot, I jump out from jetpack, and basically it's like this is Lunchbox up on like the camo door area before small door hiding that corner on their side, and Ogre 2 is like in front of them just like walking back and forth. So I jump out, and my auto aim gets like stuck on Ogre 2, and I'm like, shit, dude, Lunchbox is one shot, so I have to whip it. And Lunchbox jumps, which helps me out a little bit, I believe. And I hit him in the head for the one shot. I get him, and then I start backing up, and Ogre 2 misses like 2 or 3 shots at me. I got him pretty sure to 1 to 2 shots, and I kind of wanted to challenge him, but I was like, dude, this is for the game winning. Nothing fancy has to happen here. Just play it smart. So I back out because I hear Road 2. I'm like, I got rocks. Just go basement, go basement. So I run away, go basement. Basically, Snakebite gets a radio spawn because of all the spots Instinct was in. They blocked all our lower spawns, really, and which allowed Snakebite to spawn radio, and they blocked our outside spawns, it seemed. And Snakebite ends up getting the kill in the health pack. We win, we go crazy, and you know it was an amazing tournament win. This win for me was personally better than the first one, because the first one we ended up on winning on a bomb, which is cool and all, but I mean winning on a game Slayer, you know, like you had to get the 50 mark, and then game's over. You're into it more. You're focused. You're zoned in. The adrenaline pumps in as soon as you hear that 50 kill, and you just jump out of your seat. So, I want to give a shout out real quick to everyone who attended Columbus. Halo was a huge success. Sundance has gone on multiple StarCraft shows even and said that Columbus was a success. Clap has said that it was a big hit, and so I'm pumped for that. Unfortunately, it seems Anaheim is going to be a no-go. We should not be down about this. I believe we will be back at Raleigh, and we should just look forward. We should make sure we have an upcoming UGP, I believe, or UPG tournament coming up this weekend or next weekend for Halo with 8 teams. We should all make sure we tune into that. Go to the Halo Council for more info on that. I'm pretty sure they have a thread. Make sure you guys are always watching the Halo Council when they go live. Social Skirmish. We got a lot of new Halo stuff, so it's intriguing. So before I end this vlog, guys, real quick, I'm going to be going on vacation tomorrow in Chicago for like 5 weeks. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do like just record stuff with my iPhone and put them together, like just everyday things I'm doing, like kayaking, working out. If I do anything crazy like dodgeball, trampoline, go-karting, and just put them together. And I'm going to try to like make sure I keep up with all the Halo 4 news so I could kind of talk about it. Because I'm not going to talk about Halo 4 because I've been babbling on too long already. This is probably like a 15-minute video, which I don't want it to be that long, but I haven't done one in ages, so I'm just doing this for you guys. I'm going to try to come out with one of those videos maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, where I talk about some Halo 4 stuff and throw some everyday things I'm doing. So now I'm going to show you what I do here, guys, and I'm going to basically break it down for you. So I just see that 2 guys were dead. Here, let me rewind it 1 second for you. Coming here, I see that 2 guys are dead, and I see that Borg's fighting on the landing. So Borg ends up dying, but he's got the death cam on me, and I'm like, alright, I'm just going to run this because they're all landing, so I'm not going to be able to get shot. And they're most likely going to spawn Blue Landing as I'm running this because they're up there, and I just saw them from Blue Bridge. So I run this, and at this point, Roy tells me to stay alive. But I know they're all Blue Landing because I have a guy, teammate, who just pushed from behind him who got Blue too, so I know they're not going to be behind me. So as soon as I get here, Roy tells me to stay alive, and I'm like, okay, I actually got to do that. But then I see this pop up on my upper right screen. You can see Genie or Uni. It looks like Genie because of that pillar spawn. So I'm like, all right, dude, this is a pro play right here. You put everything into calculation. You know they're all like gold, Blue Landing, and stuff. So it's like, all right, do I take a risk play or do I play it smart? And sometimes you have to take a risk play. This is what wins you games, taking a risk. Because if you don't take the risk play, man, what happens if I did that and it worked, you know? Then you're just going to be beating on yourself, so you got to go for it. So I see spawns, and I'm like, yo, stay your window, I'm going to throw the flag up to you. Because I know they're all going to be pushing from gold to landing. So I get here, and then what a lot of AM players would do probably is look down. You don't want to look down, because the way the flag is thrown in this game is the higher you look up, the higher it's thrown. So here you see, even though I'm going shot, I look to the highest until I throw it up. And once I throw it up, then I look down. But at this point, it doesn't matter because it was a risk play, alright? Basically, with a risk play, you're most likely going to die after you do it. So I knew as soon as I threw that flag, I'm going to probably die no matter what. So I just got to make my objective to get that flag up. As soon as it's up, it's all in Uni's hand, which his real name is Unyushik. I can't even say Unishet, to get this cap. So I know they're all landing, just like I said. As you can see, Towie jumped from red landing to down here, and he should have probably pushed red street, but it probably wouldn't matter because the way I tossed it, he was right there to cap it, and because he's on flag and he's holding the flag, helps Borg spawn flag because he gives the game awareness that this is an important spawn to help his teammates. So that happened. He ends up catching the flag, and we end up winning 5-4. So guys, you always have to calculate stuff in the game. That's what a lot of pros do. They can't really explain it. Like, I can't always explain it, but it's just stuff that goes in our heads. Like, we take into situation everything that's happening from communication and where players are, and we just try to observe and possibly always make the best play. So, I hope you guys enjoy this vlog. When I get back from Chicago, expect a new video series from me of 2v2s, me and Rotor in game battles. I'm going to try to throw up the best matches that we always have, win or lose, and just do commentary over it, say what I was thinking and all this stuff. I'm going to continue doing the spree series when I get back. Also, I'm going to try to get a status quo montage. There's always been talk about them. There's an old one that we might try to reinstall, get it back into the works, but I'll see from there. But hope everyone enjoys their weekend, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. Peace out.